So hello everybody, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I just finished the live. Came outside to do some work in the yard, wearing my work clothes, ready to get busy. And I get an alert from Fox News saying there is an imminent strike aimed at U.S. military stationed in the Middle East. One particular, place.
Inside of the White House. That as we learn of new warnings from U.S. sources to Fox of an imminent Iranian strike on a U.S. base in Qatar. In fact, it was the very same base that President Trump spoke at during his trip to the Middle East.
And I'm going to show you the clip. I want to make this point to all American citizens that may see this video. The ones of us who have children, grandchildren, friends of the family, nieces and nephews, or spouses, we don't know where our loved ones are located. We are not allowed to know. For their safety and the safety of their brothers and sisters in arms, we are not allowed to know where our loved ones are located. So as America gets to express their First Amendment right and complain about what President Trump has done, as if no other president has ever done this, as you guys get to sit in the comfort of your home and talk about how we threw our children into the war machine and all this other BS, I just want to say, you're welcome. You're welcome for your First Amendment to just say whatever crap you want to say. To the rest of you, patriots that love America, that are praying for our soldiers in the Middle East, they are in imminent danger as I'm making this video. Some of you get to go on with the rest of your day in the safety of America, shopping and sitting in the air conditioner and drinking your cocktails and, depending on what state you live, smoking your blunt, talking about fascism and white supremacy, while the rest of us are crying out to God to protect our children and our loved ones. And since everybody else thinks that they have a right to get on social media and talk about how they didn't vote for this, I just thought I'd get on social media and tell all the rest of you, aren't you glad you get to vote at all? Yeah. Aren't you glad that you have social media that you can just, declare whatever ignorant statements the majority seem to be declaring without a worry in the world that you'll be arrested or held accountable for the words coming out of your mouth? Yeah, that's our sons and daughters doing that for you. Because if you can't understand the concept of an Islamic terrorist group with the nuclear warheads, then you have the mind of a child and not of an adult. There was an attempted murder of a church just yesterday in Michigan, and a deacon of the church used his vehicle to preemptively strike the shooter before the shooter could make it all the way into the church, killing children. I like to think of what my president just did as stopping these Islamic terrorists from having the ability to kill my future grandchildren. It's going to take my children to help make that happen. So you go on and continue to have the freedom to say ignorant things and talk about your president and say, well, don't we have a right to question? Doesn't MAGA have the right to question? Sitting in your air conditioning, while the rest of us just look at you and say, you're welcome, sweetheart.
Air base in the Middle East. Concerns that Iran will fire short or medium-range cruise and ballistic missiles or swarming drones at the U.S. base at Al Udeid. Satellite images show that the U.S. moved most of their unhangared aircraft out of Al Udeid last week, but still this could be a tempting target for Iranian retaliation. Embassies across Doha, the capital, have ordered their workers and their employees evacuated, and for those who remain to shelter in place.
Because while all of you are complaining that he did this, and now we might be embedded in a war for another 30 years, and you wanted to make America great again, the Iranian people not the Islamic, mentally ill Muslims, but the Iranian people are cheering in the street as Israel and America knocks this regime off their podium. Because see, it was Great Britain and America in the 50s that did this to Iran. So since we did this to Iran, it is sort of our business to help fix this for Iran. Now, I know some of you just can't comprehend loving America, but you sure don't mind using those amendments some of our children are fighting to make sure you continue to get. I don't care if your family was in the Revolutionary War or you attend Civil War reenactments. Yeah, some of y'all caught that. Some of y'all caught that. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't care. I don't see your children, and I don't see you doing the right thing. So I'm done with it. I'll see the rest of you amazing people on the Zoom tonight. Be there. If you want to join us and you haven't already, you've got about an hour before I cut tonight's Zoom link off and you have to wait to the next one. Look in the top of comments. I love you guys. I have things to do.
10,000 U.S. troops is a highly concentrated number of U.S. troops in one place.
We don't have any details, but I can assure you that troops and embassy personnel have been dispersed, and the family members of those troops and embassy members were sent home in the last week. Also, we can report that many of those, we had satellite imagery showing that many of the planes that were at Al Udeid, the U.S. warplanes, they had been moved. You couldn't see them on the tarmac last week, but still a very tempting target symbolically and otherwise for the Iranians.